How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, we know who this is. This is Andrew Yang, and he is running for president. He's on the campaign trail too. And just to give y'all a heads up, I have a bonus video. Now, y'all know, y'all can hear in the tone of my voice, I'm not laughing, but I do have a bonus video. Well, as we watch these candidates throw their hats in the arena and then have to throw it out the arena because they did not have a black agenda. ADOS. Cut the check. We have been very clear about what our agenda is and our intentions overall in the royal family. And these candidates, they have to lie and pander to the royal family. And so I've been somewhat paying attention to Andrew Yang, but what made me pay a little bit more attention to him was I watched an interview a couple of nights ago about, let me see here, where is it? About his wife being raped by this doctor, her GYN. And I'm going to keep it core and I'm going to keep it honest, my royal family. The interview to me seemed very authentic, but I could not help but possibly think, I said, is this man using his wife to get more votes? Because I'm looking at the timing of things and we're in an election season of all things. I couldn't help but think that. And I believe what happened to her, this motherfucker got off. It was quite disgusting because he had raped or violated many women. And she did voice, his wife did voice that, you know, she wanted to keep it to herself. And a lot of victims of rape or being violated in some form or fashion, they have a tendency to keep it a secret. You know, it's like they're a prisoner within. And one thing that I'm real careful about is I'm not going to be the person out here re-raping the victim. But I did question it. I didn't ponder on it a lot, but I questioned it. Well, after I did my deep research like I always do, read some things, seen a couple of videos, it makes me question things even more. This election season is going to be it's going to be quite historical because there are a lot of things that are going on in the universe. We're out of our captivity. We have one of the most extremely ignorant president that I have ever seen get grace to earth. And I often talk about Bush number 2. Boy, he make him look like a preschooler. And, you know, we hit this paradigm shift where black folks overall ain't going along and getting along because the Democratic Party has literally screwed over us. And they are expecting us to just vote just because. And the things that they are throwing up in our face is fear tactics. And knowing damn well we're talking about ADOS, you know, and yeah, all of them are for the study of. Excluded one, Marianne Williamson or something Williamson. I think that's her last name. In fact, she's endorsing Yang now as of today. They didn't want to hear what she had to say when it came in regards to ADOS. Anything that looked like we will prosper, folks panic, especially the enemy, and they feel they have, I often say they deputize themselves. They literally feel like they can arrest you on the spot on the street, a unquote citizen's arrest. They always watching us real close from head to toe. So they will already assign themselves, like if y'all happen to get reparations, well, we're going to tell you how to allocate the coins, programs, and they like to control the narrative. In turn, they will be able to control the money. So, I was trying to fully understand where Andrew Yang is coming from. It's like, what your wife went through, I hope you're not using that to get a vote. That's just terrible. That would just be absolutely terrible that somebody would pull a stunt like that. So I'm going to take the royal family on a journey to see the lengths that Andrew Yang will go to pander to the royal family. I'm going to tell you, this is going to be like a year, none other. So let's get into this first quick little short video. All I know, okay, this one was posted or probably done that day too, August 15th, 2019. Okay. We're going to see Andrew Yang dance a bit. Let me take it. It's a under a minute video. So let's look at this first one.
Left. Hope the instructor doesn't mess up. 4 heels. A plus. Take it to the next hole. To the right. Hey, I see ya. To the left. We need some more. Hey. Take it to the next hole. To the right. To the left. 4 heels. Take it to the next hole. Here we go. Go, Yang. To the right, to the right, to the right. Sing along. To the left, to the left, to the left, to the left. Now kick, kick, now kick, now kick. Now walk it by yourself. And left. Hope the instructor doesn't mess up. 4 heels. A plus. Take it to the next hole. To the right. Hey, I see ya. To the left.
All right.
We need some more.
Okay, so we see that Andrew Yang can, keep up. And mainly in there it was some other races of folks, but the majority of the folks in there was us. I paid real close attention. Now, I know that candidates, they don't even have to be running to be a president. They will make gestures to show like they are human. I think overall, they're not authentic. They just doing what they got to do, play along, and get along. So, I know that these candidates resent the fact that eventually they're going to have to fully come to us, with their disingenuous agenda. And so we see here, and I did see this, I think about over a week ago, that David Chappelle is endorsing Andrew Yang. That's obvious. David Chappelle's wife is Chinese. That's a no-brainer. But that's also a signal to black folks to get on board. I said, okay. Well, my first memory of Andrew Yang was crying. And again, in the back of my head, I said, well, are these tears real or fake? I mean, I'm questioning stuff. I'm not trying to be insensitive to, if somebody's pain or plight. But we have been messed over so much. And I'm not necessarily talking to the royal family. I'm talking to the people that the enemy and their supporters that like to, listen, thinking that we dumb enough to get online and plot something so they can be the first to tell. That's really what they're listening for, or just to see where we're coming from. So I'm gonna play this video, and y'all tell me, is he being genuine or is he being fake? Do I have a date on this? I know this was done sometime last year. I don't have it. Okay, let's get into this. Okay, let me read it. Andrew Yang breaks down over gun violence. Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang breaks down in tears after a mother shares that her child was killed by a stray bullet. Yang and other Democratic candidates spoke at a gun safety forum in Des Moines, Iowa. Okay.
A beautiful 4-year-old daughter, Dayla, was struck by a stray bullet March 2011. My son, my daughter's twin brother, witnessed what happened that day. She died 2 days later. Firearms are the second leading cause of death for children and teenagers in the U.S., but 4.6 million American children live in homes with at least one gun that is loaded and unlocked, and hundreds of them gain access to a gun and unintentionally shoot themselves or someone else every year. As president, how would you address unintentional shootings by children?
Thank you for that. Can I give you a hug? Is that be appropriate? I have a 6 and 3-year-old boy. I was imagining. I was imagining it was one of them that got shot and the other saw it. I'm so sorry. The biggest downside of running for president for me has been that I don't get to see my family very much. So I get pictures, I FaceTime, I see pictures of my boys, and just that scene that you described, I'm sorry, it's like very, very affecting. You're right that when there's a gun in the household, you're more likely to have a child get shot or the owner get shot than to kill, let's say, an intruder into the house. Those are just numbers. Those are just the facts. So one of the things we can do, and it's very hard to get into Americans' houses where all of these guns are, but if we can convince Americans that personalized guns are a good idea, then again, if the child gets a hold of the gun, then they can't do anything with it. Then it just becomes a very heavy, expensive prop. And that's something that we can push. One of my proposals is to actually help gun owners upgrade their guns to personalized guns free of charge. Because if we can do that, then again, if you're a gun owner, and gun owners are parents, gun owners understand that, and some of them are concerned. So if you say, hey, we'll upgrade your guns for free, when we can do that, like you can upgrade the guns for free, and that would help make kids safer in our homes. I'm so sorry you had to, that story should not be possible. I'm so sorry.
Okay. So,
Como si fueras actor famoso de cine.
cut that off. So, let's go back here. So I'm asking the royal family, based on watching that video, was it real or was it fake? Was it to get a vote. It just makes me question things. So, I'm going to show a clipping, and I love how they put this together. Andrew Yang was interviewed by a brother from The Roots, and also he was also interviewed by Charlemagne the God, and they just took out a portion of it. It's a little over 2 minutes. Andrew Yang, Black Agenda, Reparations, and they're gonna flash back and forth, and you're gonna listen to his talking points. And I'll just let it flow naturally, because I don't want to spoil it for folks. But I really picked up on some deep stuff here, and we ain't even got to the bonus video yet.
Do you believe in reparations?
Do you believe that reparations are owed to black people?
Yeah, so I 100% agree with the moral case for reparations. Codes, and I 100% agree with the moral case for reparations. This country was built on the backs of slaves, and there's no two ways about it. Say clearly, at a minimum, there should have been an official apology from the highest levels, like just owning up to the fact that this is a debt that is owed to descendants of slaves. I read Ta-Nehisi Coates, and I 100% agree with the moral case for reparations. I read Ta-Nehisi Coates, and it's clear that this country was built on the backs of slaves. I'm on the record saying H.R. 40 is a necessary step, and we need to head in that direction.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. And so the question is, what can we get done as a society to help try and make that right? When in reality, there's really nothing anyone can do that can make that right. Like, you can't go back and undo, decades of subjugation and inhumanity. There's no dollar amount you could be and everything is now copacetic.
Look like in an Andrew Yang administration.
Well, I would certainly never put my viewpoint or expertise over the people that have literally studied this for decades, and that's what HR 40 is about people coming together and figuring out what reparations. And I'm a numbers guy, and I agree that reading Ta-Nehisi Coates' analysis, if you were to put a number on it, that number would be enormous. Rightfully, if you were to put a number on it, the number is in the trillions, realistically. Because then if you look at that dollar amount and then grow it over time and extrapolate it. So the question is, how do we get started? And what I'm going to suggest is the way we get started is we put $1,000 a month into everyone's hands. That would be literally hundreds of billions of dollars in the hands of African Americans every single year. And to me, this freedom dividend we're talking about is not reparations. But you start with something that will disproportionately help people of color. This is just a foundation, a floor that we set for all Americans. And I believe it would actually accelerate us toward having a better, more meaningful conversation about what reparations are. So to me, the question is, what can we get done? There's nothing that we can do as a society that would actually undo that harm or make that right. There is no redoing history. But the path forward, to me, if we put this dividend in place, and at least it starts strengthening communities, and then we can take real steps forward towards, hopefully, again, can't make things right, but hopefully you can start moving things in the right direction.
Andrew Yang, I like you, sir.
Well, you're a coon, Charlemagne. So we can see that Andrew Yang was very rehearsed, because he was on a number of interviews, and he was talking about what he believed. He wasn't speaking direct. And believe it or not, Asians have received reparations. A lot of different races have, but boy, when it comes to the royal family, folks get choked up. They lose their way. They don't have a clue. They don't know what to do. And so he's kind of sounding like Cory Booker to me with the baby bonds. I have a dream that my children will not be judged by the color of their skin, but how they spend their thousands. So he wants to give out 1,000 a month to everybody, any and everybody. See, when it comes to us looking like we possibly going to receive something, then what about this and what about that? Well, why y'all ass wasn't in the cotton field getting your ass beat? Why y'all ass wasn't up in the big house getting your ass beat and screwed? the black man was screwed in the process too. We was all violated in many forms and fashions. So y'all wasn't there for that. But just the thought of, you want to include other folks because you would feel some kind of way if we received anything. And your folks, because I can't tell which is which, have came to our communities, taken over the hair care business, which I know is in the high billions. That industry alone, how they done sold that up, put liquor stores in our community. You know, it's all kind of foul shit that y'all folks have done to the royal family. And we are in a space and time where we are seeing literally people that felt some kind of way deep in their core. Now we are seeing just the tip of the iceberg. Look what's going on in Australia. Look what's going on in Puerto Rico. You know, look what's going on in the Philippines. And this is just the tip. Because a lot of this, you know, because some people, they say they don't see progress. I often keep saying that we have won the war. You have to look at it spiritually. But us bloggers, when we do a lot of these videos, we don't put everything out, and we're starting to see some momentum. And y'all know I always lean to the spiritual side to make more sense of things, that the divine hand is bringing down that gauntlet. And like I said, it's just the tip. I can't imagine what it would look like when he fully bring down the gauntlet, because it hurts, believe it or not, our Father, to see his children treated in this fashion. We were supposed to be punished, but you don't strip a human being of their dignity, how they want to worship, their language, their science, their medicine, and it is infinite. I could be up here all night talking about what they have done to the royal family, and it is quite insulting to me and you, Andrew Yang, that how far you will go to get the black vote. Say and do it, anything. Got your wife out here. Something very traumatic has happened in this woman's life. I pray you're not using that to get the vote. I just can't wait, Andrew Yang, to see what the royal family have to say. So my royal family, I'm going to play this bonus video, and I'm going to play it twice, back to back, and then I'm going in. you up in the church playing with the royal family. We are not supposed to be toyed with, mocked, or ridiculed. My royal family. We are not supposed to settle for less. We come from royalty. There is no other royal family that graced this earth but us. The rest of them are fake and made up. Copycats. Stole our shit. So I'm letting the enemy and the enemy supporters know I am dead serious with this fucking message. We are not to be toyed with. You don't fuck around with our royal babies. You don't fuck around with our elders. You don't fuck around with none of us. This shit is serious. We have been lied to from day one. We built this damn country. We are indigenous to this damn country. In fact, we are indigenous to the entire planet. Because often they say the deeper you dig, the blacker the planet. Now, I know that politicians, got to tell the best convincing lie. I already know that. That's what a politician do. Wordplay. And I could wordplay all day. I didn't have to go to no school for that shit. That shit come natural. But see, you have to understand something. When it comes to the royal family, I personally can't come here playing. Because my family feel me. And they ain't going to fuck with me if I come off phony, nefarious. They be like, because we be vibing, folks. And I am very disgusted how we're being pandered to. That's why I showed the video of Diamond and Silk's ignorant ass, because the Republican Party trust and believe they coming to pander to us. Because I was having this discussion with Lisa, and it was something that I was really thinking too. And it's like, if the black vote ain't that important, don't even pander to us. It's other people that live in America that go vote. Go to them. Just totally dismiss the black community altogether so you can go get your damn vote. That speaks volumes, my royal family, about who and what we are. That it sickens them to the core that when they are in an election season, that they have to come to us. They bow into us, they scrape into us, and on top of that, they continue to lie to Yahweh's children, truly chosen. We are supreme, my royal family. We are excellent. Yes. And we must demonstrate that, however you want to deem it. Because I often say, about regaining our throne, there's a seat for everyone. Not a one, everyone. We already know who the one is. We're very clear on that, but we still have a seat. Think about the blood that flows through you. It just pisses me off how these people come and pander, things that they do. Throwing up the power to the people sign. We're watching you with that phony ass gesture all up in the church, just playing, crying. This woman's child and got killed. Are you being real or authentic? Your wife has been raped. You gonna use that too? What's really going on with you? So you make a little gestures, make a couple little dance steps. Then when people ask you direct questions, you talking about what you believe. What you believe don't put no motherfucking food on the table. Tell a newborn that, what you believe. Well, I believe daddy gonna get some money. Ain't no money falling out the damn sky. That baby don't understand that. All that baby know to do is holler because I have an immediate need and you're not addressing my immediate need. So your belief system don't mean shit. See, they're very clever with their words, but he's very rehearsed with his. That one video really captivated for me. That you're saying the same repetitive thing, you know, when you put on the hot seat. I don't see you making these gestures to nobody else. I ain't seeing you up in no white church or anything, you know, playing like you singing in the choir, doing somersaults or whatever you got to do, eating some fried chicken with hot sauce and all that kind of stuff. Do you do that when you go around the enemy? Do you do that? Hell fucking no. When they come to us, they come with that crazy shit. And then what I don't like is we put up with it. I wouldn't even let the motherfucker in the church. That's like when Kamala playing her games and Hillary playing their games. Once you see they're doing something where they're trying to pander to us, we disappear. In fact, you don't show up at all. That leaves an even deeper message. That they going to put on this dog and pony show, have the media out there, and you don't show up. And have a big ass lock there with no note or nothing. Just nobody don't show up. I'm going to leave it right there because I'm very, very heated. So my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.